It's yet another summer fabulous day here in Southern Ontario. This is the Sportsline Podcast. Appreciate you watching or listening on the CHCH or Parrot Media platforms. I'm Bubba O'Neil. Say it all the time, folks. On a daily basis, this podcast is a space for the many outstanding athletes, coaches, executives, and broadcasters that are in this area. And today we're going to expand it to an entire sport. And that sport is golf.
You stole my life from me.
Why would I want to steal the life of somebody who eats pieces of for breakfast?
30 years after the first, Happy Gilmore and Shooter McGavin will be squaring off in the highly anticipated Happy Gilmore 2. Today, we're going to be talking about a special event that will give you exclusive access to one of the most popular villains in the history of sport movies. Mathew Milne is the general manager of the Thundering Waters Golf Club in Niagara Falls. And boy, you've really hooked onto a big one now. You got to be excited.
Yeah, I am excited. You know, this is such a rare opportunity for us in this region to do something, you know, really special and unique. We've got, as you mentioned, Christopher McDonald, best known for his role as Shooter McGavin in Happy Gilmore, coming to St. Catharines, First Ontario Performing Arts Centre on Saturday, August 16th for a live and interactive screening of the OG, the original Happy Gilmore film. He'll talk about the making of the film, his favorite memories. He'll take audience questions. We've got a meet and greet planned, and then of course we'll screen the film. And as you and I talked about before, this is a generational comedy, and so this is well beyond just golf. It's nostalgia, it's laughter, it's pop culture. It's going to be a great time. It's
going to be a great night. And you know, I look at this movie and I looked at the promo of the Happy Gilmore 2, which is coming out 2 weeks today, actually. Sure. But I think about it, and you know, we're of kind of the same age group, and I think to myself, why, Happy Gilmore, 30 years, Tin Cup, 29 years, Caddyshack, 45 years.
That's right.
Why do you think Happy Gilmore's had this long-standing sort of, it's still got a grip on us?
You know, that's a tough question to answer. I mean, it has to do with Sandler and, you know, the type of writing that he does. You know, Shooter McGavin as a character, he's certainly one of the most quoted comedic villains, you know, in comedy history. I really don't know what it is about that movie that makes that character and the film itself so beloved. But, you know, it certainly has stood the test of time. And really all the movies that you mentioned, you know, at least within the golf space are talked about almost on a daily basis and quoted on a daily basis in every golf course around the region.
You talk about Shooter McGavin, of course, Christopher McDonald, if anyone, it's like, oh yeah, that's what his real name is.
That's right.
But what I appreciate about him in this movie, and him as a man, as an actor, I mean, the guy has had, we've talked about this, multiple movies.
Sure.
Some of them very, very big, some of them award-winning. Yet, he has taken on and embraced the character, as many sometimes don't want to, and they want to move on and don't associate themselves with maybe their most popular character, but he lives it out and he loves doing it for the fans.
Yeah, he really does. I mean, I've had the opportunity to work with Chris on 3 or 4 occasions, and it's amazing to see how he can just turn it on. We can be having a conversation, and somebody will come up and he'll hear a Shooter, and then he'll just go right into the pose, right? And just it's just he really does embrace it. It's part of him. It's part of his brand. And you know, again, as we talked about before. You know, I'm sure that he goes into auditions for new movies and new TV shows, and that's what people want to talk about. I mean, there's staying power in that character in that movie, and yeah, he really has embraced it.
Yeah, I think it's so fun, and anytime I see someone like that, I mean, very active in social media. Yep. We just talked about it, a commercial with Subway leading up to it with Bryson DeChambeau, and people would be saying, I remember him, and that's, again, for him personally, that's got to make him feel happy.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I've recently seen him in a number of things that I didn't know he was in before. You know, I watched Ballers with The Rock, and he was in that. He was in a Gabriel Iglesias TV show that he was on. I thought, oh, geez, you know what? I didn't know that he was in those before. Yeah, he really has embraced it. And he, to your point earlier, he's done so much.
Not to be master of the obvious here, but why would Thundering Waters want to be a part of this event?
Well, it's really on brand for us. I'm not your prototypical golf course GM. As I mentioned before, I'm a sales and marketing guy, and we really lean heavily into experiential marketing and added value. So we do a lot of these kinds of celebrity experiences at the course, and we've had Shooter at the course before, and just seeing the people's reaction, when he takes the photo with them, does the pose, and they walk away, and they're posting it on social media. It just hits different for me. So having Chris come to the course, and he will be coming to the course the day after the screening, we were just looking for some other opportunities for him to do while he was here, and we just blue skied, hey, what if we could do this? And he was keen and eager, and so I was able to work with Dan at 12 Mile Event to put it together, and here we are.
Beautiful stuff. Now, you have a host of this event who I couldn't think of a better host in Ken Reed, with his love for nostalgia,
very much
old sports movies. That his partner Ivanka, who I know personally, has no idea sometimes what he's wearing a Chiefs suit. She has no idea what that is all about, right? But nonetheless, he does. And boy, to get him on a golf course and to get him hosting an event like this, major score.
Yeah, you know what? I really just played into what you talked about. I mean, I know that he does all things. He's into old hockey cards, and, he has a podcast. And so, I just appealed to his sense of nostalgia. And again, he was eager and kind of chomping at the bit, and I'm glad it worked out for his schedule, and we're happy to have him.
Was it easy to contact him? Right? Did you have to did he have an agent? Or?
No, nothing like that. Actually, I mean, Ken is also going to be hosting the Doug Gilmore Celebrity Classic, so I was already in touch with him about that, and so this was just an easy, hey, Ken, we've also got something else.
Yes, he must have been really excited. Can we get into that? Now, there's also, I mean, as I said, you're into sort of these events, and I mean, making it more than just golf itself as an entire experience. And I don't know. You think about someone that's synonymous with wearing the Toronto Maple Leaf, even though he played with St. Louis and Calgary, won a cup with Calgary, never won a cup with Toronto. But I think of two people whose effort, and I believe it was a 5-year stint with the Maple Leafs. I think of Wendell Clark, and I think of this guy, killer, Doug Gilmore. Yeah. And it didn't matter that they didn't win a cup. They will be Maple Leafs for lives.
Oh, absolutely. They're both Maple Leaf legends, true and true. And, Doug's got his golf tournament coming up at Thundering Waters on Friday, August the 8th. That event is all about the experience. There'll be activations on every single hole, and he's invited a number of his friends from sport and entertainment. You mentioned Wendell Clark; he'll be there, but it won't just be hockey players. We've got some entertainers that were in Doug's Rolodex. He's got Tim Hicks with local connection. Yep. We've got Alan Frew from Glass Tiger, Paul Langlois from the Tragically Hip, and we've got some actors. We've got some actors coming from the TV show Shoresy. So it'll be a great day, but again, that's all about the experience. And Doug's chosen a local charity in Birchway, Niagara, which is an organization that supports women and children who've been impacted by domestic abuse. So it's a meaningful cause, and it's going to be a great day.
You were talking to me a little bit about the philosophy of Thundering Waters Golf Club, and that obviously COVID affected everything in life.
Sure.
But you guys have rebounded nicely. Why so?
Well, you know what? I mean, again, we just embraced the moment. When other courses weren't doing tournaments, we found ways to make it happen. Nonprofit organizations and charities really struggled during the COVID times because they couldn't fundraise. Well, I mean, again, we still continue to have our celebrity events, and we were able to embrace that and integrate them into what we were doing. And I think people just really appreciated that. And so when things did come back to normal, they didn't forget about us. And again, we have a little bit of a different model. Again, we lean into the experiential side of things. It's not always celebrity events, but we do produce a lot of celebrity events. But we work with our partners to do different samplings and different contests and activations that you just don't see anywhere else. So again, it's a model that's not for every golf course, but because we're so close to the falls, because we are a John Daly signature course, we don't all wear the loudmouth apparel anymore, but it really works for us, and our whole staff is kind of bought into that model.
Was this John Daly's first design course?
It's John Daly's first and only signature course in Canada.
Okay.
So John designed a few of the holes, and it's high risk, high reward. It's not as long of a course as it used to be, but you can still get yourself in a lot of trouble.
You know, and one of the lines when I look at your website, it says, whether you're a scratch golfer, weekend warrior, or only play in tournaments, Thundering Waters Golf Club is for you.
Yeah. And that's what we want. I mean, we talked about a little bit earlier, you know, golf has really evolved, and there's so many more people participating in the game than ever before. But there's a little bit of a disconnect because 85% of golfers are what I would call recreational golfers, golfers that don't break 100 on a regular basis, don't take lessons, but they're going out there for the social time, you know, to have a couple of beverages with friends. And not enough is done to appeal to that segment, which is the largest segment of the golf population. So, again, that's why we really lean into that. I mean, you know, that's where the majority of golfers live, and we want to work with those people, and we want to make sure they're having a more enjoyable experience. And I think golf as a whole has taken note of that. You know, I don't get into the politics of the game very much, but, you know, you look at things like the LIV Tour. You know, the LIV Tour speaks to that demographic, you know, with the music, and they've taken some of the objections and the barriers that, you know, the recreational golfer doesn't like about the game and incorporated it into their tour. So we're moving more in that direction. Still have a long ways to go, but that's why our philosophy has always been let's lean into the experience. You know, we're never going to be the best golf course, but you're going to find fewer that try hard to deliver an experience.
Well, every time I pass by your course, it's in beautiful condition. It looks amazing. Obviously, people are having fun. And I'm glad you brought up the social aspect of the sport, because you're right. I fit into that category.
So do I.
And I have friends that golf every single day. And when it gets cold, they're gone. Some of them gone for the entire winter because they want to golf every single day. To me, that's maddening. I don't know if there's anything in my life that it would be like that, but more power to them. I will get out 3 or 4 times a year. And again, for a social aspect.
True.
And I kind of noticed something that's going on at your golf course, and you need to explain to me how this all works. Night golf. What? How? Where did this come from? How did you make it happen? And I went looking online, and I found some wonderful examples. This is amazing.
It is, again, and that's one of those kind of opportunities that speaks to the recreational golfer. It's not something that we do all the time. We work with a company called Night Links, and they come in and they set it up, and they line all the greens and fairways with LED strip lighting, and there's the pin flags are lit. You used a custom LED golf ball. Again, it's not something that you would do all the time, but it's certainly an experience that you would go out and enjoy socially, kind of once a year. And again, those kind of opportunities are, you know, really on brand for us. And even the scratch golfers really enjoy, because it's a different experience. You really can't see, you know, the fairways. You can't really get a sense of lie. You're just seeing your ball glowing in the middle of the fairway, and you've got to hit it. You know, the only downside from a golf course perspective is the next day the superintendent really isn't that happy because there's a lot of divots on the course that haven't been fixed. So that's the reason we don't do it as much as we probably would like to do, but it's a great time.
What's the response of the golfers?
Oh, they love it.
Yeah.
Night golf?
Yeah.
Yeah, oh, they love it. But again, it depends on the time of year in which you do it. I mean, we try to do it into September when it gets darker earlier, but it keeps our staff at the course till, you know, 1, 2 in the morning, because it takes a long time to clean up strip lighting. That's thousands and thousands of yards of LED strip lighting.
Is it all 18 holes, or you just selected holes?
We do selected holes.
Okay.
We do 9 holes.
Okay. Wow, that sounds like a lot of fun. I will be in the fall to enjoy some of that, because that looks absolutely incredible to me. It looks like a lot of fun. Hey, let's just wrap up with this. Let's give me again, we're talking about Shooter McGavin coming to St. Catharines. Just one more little overview of the event and what people are going to expect.
Yeah, again, it's Saturday, August the 16th, First Ontario Performing Arts Center. You know, we've got Christopher McGavin, Shooter McGavin. You know, he'll be there, and it's an interactive screening of Happy Gilmore. He'll answer questions. He'll talk about the making of the film, probably the making of both films, because it's so timely. And again, it's just going to be a great time.
It really is. And thank you so much for coming and letting us know about this, for even reaching out to me on the email, because these are the kind of events that I think people locally do want to know, and they want to be there for it. Look, you even got an autograph of him. I mean, just a spectacular individual that represents, you know, I don't know, like, I mean, is he a big golfer? I don't even know that much, but like, the fact is, he represents golf.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I've seen recent clips of him participating in pro-ams and things like that. I mean, I don't know that he gets out all that often. You know, when I work with him at the course, we don't put him on the course. But yeah, I mean, he's got a pretty good swing.
He's got a pretty good swing.
Yeah,
nice.
Yeah. And there's some stories from the actual film that he tells about that one photo where he's doing the salute. That was actually a natural reaction to him sinking a putt. So there's a lot of gems like that he'll share at the screening that I've had the opportunity to hear about. So it's gonna be good.
We look forward to it. Mathew, thanks for coming in.
Oh, thank you, Bob. I appreciate the opportunity.
Right on. Hey, that's your Sportsline Podcast for the day. And as you've just seen and heard, we love talking sports. We love talking golf. If you do know of an athlete, team, or event to promote, the Sportsline Podcast do want to hear from you. Please hit that thumbs up, like, and subscribe button. And if you have something to say, we always, 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 always appreciate your comments. For the outstanding people that make the Sportsline Podcast possible, thank you so very much. And we'll see you real soon.